Hello, everyone. Mr. Phillips here. Excited to announce that because the presidential election is happening tomorrow, Tuesday, November 5th, a day that we don't have school, we will be holding a mock election on today, Monday, November 4th. To hold a mock election, there are some things that I want to tell you before we get started. So, welcome to Courtade Election Central, and here are some things that I want you to know before we go and cast our votes at Courtade's mock election. What is a mock election? A mock election is an election that we're going to have just for fun. Our votes won't really count for the election of the President of the United States, but we're going to see who's going to win an election if we were just to have it at our school. Why are we doing it? Well, one, a presidential election only happens once every 4 years. So for some of you, you won't get to do something like this again in elementary school. And for others, you may be in first grade and you won't be able to do something like this again until fifth grade. So it's always a fun learning experience to give you a chance to see what it's like to vote. Plus, when you're home tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm hoping that you'll be keeping touch with what's going on in the presidential election. And I want to teach you some things so that when you're watching these things at home with your parents, you kind of know what's going on during the election and as results come in. The first thing you should know is who are the candidates? A candidate is somebody that's running for a position, in this case, for the office of President of the United States. The two major political parties in our country are the Republicans and the Democrats. For the Republicans, Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance are running against the Democrats, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. So while Trump and Harris are the candidates for the two most popular parties, there are some other candidates that'll be on the real ballot when your parents go and vote. They're pictured here. Cornel West is an independent. And there are some things called third parties, which are some less than major political parties that exist in our country. Jill Stein is running for the Green Party, and Chase Oliver is running on the Libertarian ticket. You might hear their names on election night, but most votes will go for Trump or Harris, and that will be who the presidential election is between. When you get a chance to vote on the mock election, you're going to get the chance to vote for Harris or Trump, along with their running mates. And then there's one more in there. I put Chase Oliver. If you're voting for Chase Oliver, that means you're voting for a third party candidate. And you can do that because your vote is your vote. Usually in elections, the person or thing with the most votes wins. In the case of the President of the United States, you're going to hear the term electoral college votes, and that's what's on the map right here. If you take a look at Michigan, Michigan has 15 electoral college votes. That means the person that gets the most votes for president in the state of Michigan earns all 15 of our electoral college votes. The same holds true with every state. The candidate with the most electoral college votes is the one that will become our next president of the United States. Pause the video for a second, teachers. Can you find the states that have the most electoral college votes? Can you find the states that have the least electoral college votes? One quick fun fact before you pause. The more people you have in your state, the higher the population it is, the more electoral college votes that state has. Take a pause and discuss. Who are you going to vote for? Who are you going to vote for? Who are you going to vote for? Remember what earlier in the video when I said your vote is your vote? Well, that's exactly what I meant. It's your right to keep your vote a secret, and in an election, real or fake, like the one that we're doing here at school, you could also tell people who you're voting for. But as teachers at a public school like we are, we're not supposed to tell you who we're voting for. So, just like this says, who am I voting for? It's none of your business. I can give you information and let you decide, but I'm not going to tell you which way you should go with your vote. One thing I'm asking you to remember and to keep at the top of your heads as we're going through our mock election and discussing the results. Remember what the two R's in our ROAR stand for: respectful and responsible. We must, in election times, Even if we disagree, have respect for one another. We also must be responsible. To be responsible means we're going to do what it takes to keep this a fun and positive experience for everyone and an interesting one. Remember, we're doing this not only to make our voice heard to see who would win the presidential election if our school were the decider. We're doing this so that you can learn what it's like to elect a president. And so that when you're watching at home on TV and you're watching the results come in, you kind of know what's going on. Speaking of that, remember earlier when I talked to you about the Electoral College? The person who gets the most votes at our school may or may not be the person that wins as the president in our mock election. Electoral college votes are determined by the population of the people in each state in our country. Well, our school is set up the same way on this map. Take a minute and see where your class is and how many electoral college votes that you get. Look at Mrs. Hellman's class. Her class has the most electoral college votes. That's because her class has the most students in it. Makes sense, right? Just like California has a lot of electoral college votes because they have a lot of people, so too is our map. So take a look, take a pause, and find how many electoral college votes your class gets. Something you'll hear about a lot tomorrow if you watch election results come in are something called swing states. Swing states are states where all of the studies show that the presidential race in that state is razor thin. Almost as many people are voting for Harris as they are for Trump. In our school, I have no idea which way we'll go or where we'll have swing classrooms. But we're going to call a few classrooms swing classrooms in our school because of the amount of electoral college votes that they have. Those swing classrooms at our school are Hellman's class, Ridenauer's class, and Lautner's class. Altogether, they're worth 29 electoral college votes. But remember, if you hear the term swing states when you're watching the results come in, it's because studies show we don't know who's going to win until all the votes are counted. It'll be interesting to watch to see who wins those swing states. It's almost time to vote, everyone. As results come in, I will get the help of a couple of friends to bring you election results as they roll in. It's going to be very interesting to watch to see who wins the electoral college votes of each of our classrooms. As the results come in, for those classrooms that Harris gets the most votes, they will be shaded in blue. Just like on TV, the states that she wins will be shaded blue. For those classrooms that Trump wins, they will be shaded red. Just like on TV, the states that he wins will be shaded red. Stay tuned for live results and remember, be respectful and be responsible and have fun and learn a lot as we go through and do our Courtade mock election